do growing up, they can end up doing that.
It was quite I guess it shut down a line at the fair too.
Yeah, all right.
You left there, but you can see it was kind of.
We are up. Thank you.
It was dark.
Thanks.
Okay, good morning. Welcome to the July 31st meeting of the Board of County Commissioners. We stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, any public comment this morning? Seeing none, we'll go to Commissioner comments. Commissioner McKinley.
All right, well, Friday went to a very hot Riley County Fair. Spent a lot of time in the buildings, looking at stuff, and not much out in the other areas, but a lot of great projects by the 4-H kids. So there's a lot of neat stuff there that they're doing. And then on the way home, we got caught in the wind and the rainstorm, drove into it. Then that's walked around the house, and Sunday I looked over stuff for today's meeting and reviewed some stuff from the budget. There's no budget information. Still had questions on that, but I'm plowing through. Other than that, that's it.
Okay, Commissioner Ford.
Yeah, Thursday afternoon, post meeting, I listened in on July's Connecting Kansas County Zoom call by KAC. This month's, yeah, I thought I saw you on.
Yeah.
There were several from
Yeah, but
Nancy was on there, Vivian was on there. There's a couple other people on there. Can't remember. I guess I'm bad with names too. Of course, this month's topic was actions and things being worked on to try to get back our local ad valorem tax reduction fund for Kansas counties, the other local taxing jurisdictions. Mike Taylor, the lobbyist for our Kansas Counties Commissioners Association, gave a history of this fund. Laid it out pretty good in words too on his newsletter that just came out over the weekend as well. Kind of showed how it worked when it stopped being funded and the challenges of getting it restarted. Bruce Chadley, our executive director for KAC, gave a presentation on all the organization is working on, went through the toolkit for LABTRF, because it is technically a fund, and spoke on the outline they're focused on at this point. So a lot of good stuff's been put into place, can be used. Specific questions were asked by county officials on what's going to take to get that moving forward once again. We'll have our work cut out for us, but educating the public, working with some other entities, who knows?
Well, if it's in a fund, are we getting interest on that? I'll be a little sarcastic.
Yeah. I'll just be happy if we can get something back, and we'll just have to call that one good. So Thursday afternoon, I also had a teleconference call with my doctors in Topeka, just usual monthly kind of check in, check out type of thing. Things have kind of slowed down considerably on my journey, but all the factors are still good. Apparently my brain's even working, so even better. So I know nobody speak at once there. The real good news here, though, is starting next month, I'll be moving all my appointments here to the new Stormont Vale facility. So yeah, no more driving to Topeka every other month. Not as bad. It's just 45 minutes there, 45 minutes back, 25-minute appointment. It's kind of, it's not the most convenient type of thing. So yeah, we'll keep going and working on that. Now, the offset of that was I spent yesterday out at the fair judging chocolate chip cookies.
Oh, it was just chocolate chip cookies.
Yeah. Well, there are two categories. There was just plain and then a variety. And we had 42 entries. Just for the record, I just got over my sugar rush about a half an hour ago. So if I'm feeling a little down today, this is why. Unlike last year with cinnamon rolls, there was no carb substitute to go along with it. So started feeling that sugar rush before I left and thought, didn't stick around to seeing the animals and stuff like I usually do. I'm like, I probably just better get home. I body isn't really used to that kind of an intake, which is good, but bad in that case yesterday. But it was fun, nonetheless. It was fun. So we had 42 entries, 2 categories: plain chocolate chip, variety chocolate chip. And the plain category, Hannah Silva was our winner, and Josie Dixon was our reserve. In the variety category, Lila Wanklin was our winner, and Rebecca Gould was our reserve. Mostly kids, 3 of the 4. Yeah, she wasn't there for it, but the other 2 were kids, so they were pretty excited, as you can probably imagine. So really large turnout. They had to bring in some extra chairs and everything too. So a lot of people were there to witness it in person. Want to give a shout out to Tyler Jackson from Manhattan City Lifestyle Magazine, who judged the competition along with me. So all the people that came out and watched the competition, and to everyone that had an entry. Like I said, there was 42 and ranged from cranberry cookies to M&M cookies to Kit Kat cookie with chocolate chips. I had chocolate chips. I grew up on Kit Kats, so that was a little nostalgic for me, but that's not one of the ones that won. So, but we had a lot of, like I said, unique cookies, really good. People around here know how to bake. I mean, let's just throw it out there. So lastly, I just wanted to mention, because I did get several emails over the weekend in regards to Friday evening storm and actions that were taken or maybe not taken out at the fair. Why it wasn't just shut down completely and they tried to move everybody off site. To me, in that situation, that's the 100% worst possible thing that you can do. We knew the storm was coming. Everybody was keeping track of it. We're Kansans. We're used to this, right? I mean, either go inside and take cover or stand outside and take pictures of it. I mean, there's really no limit to it. So, and nobody was hurt. There was nothing damaged that I'm aware of. I came close to losing a tent, but it was handled about as well as I think you could actually handle that scenario given the circumstances. So, okay with that. And that speaks volumes of the staff and people that were paying attention to that. And, I just remember last summer when they had Symphony in the Flint Hills, they did shut it down in the midst of a storm and everybody's trying to leave and 70-mile-an-hour winds and hail. And that too wasn't safe. So that was the right call. So I just wanted to throw that out there because people had some concerns about it, and I don't think it's really a problem. That's all I've got.
Yeah, I remember one year I was at the political tent, and there was a tornado coming, and we pulled everything down and ran in Potter Fall, and pretty soon it was over and everything was soaked. I mean, just totally.
I remember Arts in the Park way back in the late 80s, same type of scenario, and it was wind and rain, and it just came down all at once, and I try to keep everybody kind of under tents and under wraps there, because once everybody leaves, you can't really control the scenario at that point in time. You don't know what may happen. So it sounded like too, it got more than made up for Saturday. I guess the fair honored the tickets from Friday. So they had a lot of people there Saturday. Yeah. So ended up working out fine. So.
Okay. Well, Friday morning, I spent some time with Rich Fargo going over some financial numbers. Then afterwards, I spent time here in my office going over paperwork for today's meeting, answered emails, made some follow-up phone calls. And then I went over to the fairgrounds after that, visited with Gary Fike in the fairgrounds office. We had a good conversation about everything going on. And then I looked at all the exhibits, and they had the judging for the Lego contest. Oh my goodness.
Cool.
I've never seen such Legos.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing.
There's some amazing things. My daughter used to play Legos, but nothing like that. Then it's just incredible. So, and artwork was and photography, all that was the 4-H doing a really good job with the creativity. Anyway, then I looked at all the livestock, went to the poultry barns. They were just, not everything was there at that point, but it was good to look at everything. Some of the chickens were really packed, almost bare, it was kind of sad. But anyway, then Saturday morning, I went over to the iris sale at the K-State Gardens. And that was
So we forgot about that.
Oh.
I hadn't even heard of it. Usually hear
Oh,
about it.
yeah, when they, yeah, it was,
Usually hear.
I put it in my calendar a long time ago, so it's just, not that I need more hours, but, you know, I ended up with a lot. But there were a ton of people there. I mean, it was like, they were sold out by, I was there right around 8 o'clock and they were sold out by 10. I guess. It's just
Supposedly
early.
goes till noon, but it never does.
No, it never does. And they had some really good, beautiful flowers.
They're doing something similar with K-State equipment and sports or something on the upcoming.
Yeah, they've got cleaning out stuff.
That'll be interesting.
Well, I've got a bunch in a bag to go through. I'm gonna send some to my daughter, so. Anyway, later that evening, I went back to the fairgrounds and visited various vendor booths, watched some cattle judging. That was really cool. The rodeo had a huge crowd. There was a line going all around the building, so that's probably because of Friday night. And then let's see, huge crowd everywhere. There are lines throughout, for funnel cakes especially. That's a big plus there. Did you miss the funnel cake?
No, I don't want nothing to
Especially
do
when
with
it's that
that.
I have 8 stands, but I had out there.
It wasn't that hot.
It's gonna be a while before I touch cookies or anything sweet.
Sweet lemonade, good.
Yeah. I miss turkey legs. Weather was fairly cool, so it was more pleasant than normal. Let's see, what else did I do? It was good hanging out. We got penned in by some pickup that drove into the parking lot. And finally, some other people there, they found a little break to go to the sidewalk. And so they were directing, myself and them to get out of this little space, and got on the sidewalk and drove to the exit. And then it was kind of strange. I don't know why people park in the roadway. There's a ton of cars over there.
Issue there.
It was over there by the train.
Well, what they do is they go in there to drop stuff off, because technically the sidewalk is technically big enough to do that, and they realize went too far in, can't get back out, because you have to basically reverse. You can't turn around.
Yeah,
So
yeah, it was a mess. So I finally got out of there. I thought, I'm never going to get out of here. This person's probably at the rodeo. I'm going to say, but finally I got out of there. I said, I've never driven on a sidewalk before. Don't tell
Generally, if you're going to confess, don't confess on a live stream.
recorded.
That would be my first advice.
Always giving advice just a little too late.
That's all right.
But it was funny. It was, there were a few people doing that. So
Sidewalk? What's a sidewalk?
Indeed.
There wasn't. That's enough.
Ready for business, commissioners?
Let's go for business.
First item I have, need a motion to approve grant of permanent easement, temporary construction easement with Edward A. Bergson Trust and Marcellin Bergson Trust to lay out, relocate, widen, alter certain public road known as Flat Rock Road.
That's a lot for a culvert.
Yeah, make it look big.
Okay. Well, I'll go ahead and then make a motion that approve the easement for the Flat Rock Road culvert replacement project.
I'll second.
So moved and seconded to approve the easement agreements for the Flat Rock. Where are we? The Flat Rock Road culvert replacement project. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Chair, please sign.
Yes.
No, I like the way I drive step the sidewalk.
Not that he's saying he ever does. He would never do that.
So
I now, I'm withdrawing from.
I think you should get out, Lindsay.
Well, just so we sum it up completely, I can either confirm nor deny.
There you go.
See lots of future work for you, Clancy.
Sounds good.
Lined up some stuff for you when you retire. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, I need a motion to approve the agreement with Howie's Enterprise LLC for Riley County Trash Service 2023 in the amount of $26,734.80 per year, with the option to extend the contract annually up to 4 additional years. Remember that it can increase each year.
Mhm. Go ahead and make a motion to approve the 2023 Riley County Trash Service contract with Howie's Trash Service.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the trash contract service with the Howard's Trash Service. All in favor? Aye.
Chair, please sign it. The response. Yes. Monday.
Yeah, yes.
We need to make a motion for that executive session.
We can. I was just gonna do it during my
Oh,
admin
okay.
time. I missed doing it during commission comments. Good catch though.
That's on because I haven't driven on the sidewalk.
Unlike some you could do.
I'm gonna get teased about this forever. So they get.
Next, Commissioner, that Raleigh County Personnel Action Form for Jill Seaton, Office Manager in the County Council Department, Separation of Service.
I don't want to sign. I don't want to sign.
Kind of don't either.
There's been a couple lately that we didn't put forward, yeah.
That office is vacated.
In May, yeah.
When is her last day?
August 31st. We appreciate very much the time, right?
Yeah. A little bit of iron to sign that. For me, anyway.
Yeah.
Commissioners, any changes to the minutes?
I didn't have anything.
No, I didn't either. No, okay. Go ahead and make a motion to approve the minutes as written from the July 27th meeting of the Riley County Commission.
No second.
So moved it. Excuse me. It's been moved and seconded that we approve the minutes from July 27th.
No tentative agendas, like Commissioners.
Pretty tentative.
Yeah, they are. Any items for next week's press conference, Commissioners? Think of any, just get them to me and we'll get them on the agenda. Next, you have Mr. Holman at 9 o'clock. Clancy, how long are you gonna go in that executive session?
I think 15 minutes.
You gonna start at the very beginning?
I'm sorry.
You gonna do it after you do the personnel thing or?
Well, I wasn't going to do it during my time. I was
Oh,
going to
after.
add it. I'm sorry. I was
Like
going
at the
to
end of the
ask.
meeting?
Exactly.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
Good, I was gonna ask if you could do the personal thing first.
We'll do the person.
Put into your time, 9 o'clock time.
Yeah. But again, for the executive session, just the end of the meeting.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Anybody catch the SpaceX thing moving through?
So, Facebook.
Did not.
Saw a video somewhere here in Kansas where they met one of those 4-way stops and had to, had to really like move it around.
Well, I'd say that these first ones came through Riley and turned
Yeah.
the corner, and they were.
Yeah.
But like I say, the trailers have steering at each.
They put them on 2 ends of it there and they kind of move it very,
Yeah.
very slowly amongst the 2 trailers. And there's that's the video. It's like, wow.
The last couple of weeks, constantly seeing the big windmill power
Mhm.
pieces. Yeah, going north.
I've seen those too.
So Greg, when you say the trailers have their own steering, like the old fire trucks would have, so there's like there's somebody steering them. In there.
There's guys with remote controls walking along beside it, steering the back. Because we counted, there was like 98 wheels, 98 tires on those things. Because it had on the front end, there's 4 different, I don't know, wheels with like 8 on each one. And then some on the back too. And they had a truck in the back pushing and one on the front pulling. And then they had all these guys standing out there and they had all the boats. I assume they were steering because like say the back end, they keep steering it. Well, the front was turning, they keep this one steered up there when they turn it.
And they moved across the whole nation that way, or did they use trains for something?
They drove it.
I think
This
they,
one-
Interesting.
those actually, I think the way if I saw it right, they actually connect back to the trailer itself and go underneath it and they can pull them out. That's
What?
yeah, the steering stuff. Yeah.
It's all kinds of weird.
So it's all compacted and they can
It
pull
took
that out and then
forever to get around that
yeah.
corner out in front of us.
Yeah, it looked like it probably took,
I can't even.
I'm gonna say a good hour, hour and a half at least.
Yeah, that stuff blocked for quite a while.
This is at a
And then-
4-way.
And then, and just about as they were done, one of the RCPD guys came, I saw him out there talking, so I think he's saying, why don't you call us to help,
Yeah.
help traffic
Yeah.
here?
There they did. They had people on both sides of that. I did see that.
So if you were waiting on that for an hour,
My wife got stuff about behind the first load that went through.
They must have not have really knew how to coordinate that when they started, maybe you'd think,
Not
but
the first.
The first one, this one that
I
came.
was gonna say it's not rocket science, but it kind of is here.
after they,
And it wasn't, this one, the path they showed didn't turn, it's just gonna go past Riley and then on down.
so they've made some adjustment, oh, this new one we tell.
That's one that went through this week.
Yeah. Hmm.
You wonder why on the brain thing we were all gonna make a comment.
That's the cookies talking.
Maybe. Little reprieve this weekend.
Saw that.
So on Saturday.
It looks like after that, though, the extended forecast is staying kind of upper 80s, 90s.
Yeah.
We-
I heard maybe even 83 on Sunday.
uh,
Oh, my goodness.
Believe it when I see it, but it's a long
Well, it
ways
is, at
away.
least it's getting down to about 70 at night. Which is good.
One of the good things, at least last week, is the humidity has at least been down.
It came up again yesterday.
It did. It did.
Yes.
Oh,
Fortunately, it was breezy yesterday,
I
but
was
yeah.
working outside all day yesterday, man. My shirt was just drenched.
Yeah, I didn't cut the grass this week because I thought, some pieces are long, some pieces
That's how it is now this time of year. I'm getting brown patches.
Yeah.
It'll rain.
Goats. That's how I saw that problem, goats.
Thought about it. Think
I
about
have some cute
goats
little pygmy goats at the fair. My daughter
don't-
has some of them.
and discriminate between grass and your shrubs.
Yeah, and your hollyhocks and your everything. My sister has goats and she loves them, but since their first year, they've destroyed all the hollyhocks. They've destroyed this whole bush fence, this whole hedge fence. She's tried to put them in a pen probably a
Nope.
dozen times.
They can get out.
She's reinforcing the different pens. the
Sometimes
different
you find
heights.
them on the hood or roof of your
Yes,
car.
yes, yeah.
There would be a few things. that'd be
Look
tough.
at the prints.
And then oddly enough, they don't really, they don't use like the hay bales well, they just destroy it. So like she has hay on the farm and she has to kind of protect that because they just destroy it. They eat it, but they more destroy it.
They like tear things up.
Yeah, they're just always climbing on everything and running around
I don't
and
want to be goat, but
they're super cute.
My daughter and hers, they put electric fence up, but the goats figured out how to get under it
Yeah.
without touching it. They probably had to lower it down and they were
Yes.
waking fences and all, they had them in its enclosure. Yeah,
they can
crazy.
barbecue.
Mhm.
They can barbecue.
Yeah,
I think goat. It's different.
I've had goat cheese. Never could eat goat cheese.
Strong tasting,
Mhm.
very strong tasting.
It's gamey.
It's beyond gamey. It is like has really strong taste and even odor.
I think like baked it or something with mushroom and kind of did a roast like thing or something.
Cover it up and that's what.
I don't know if it's something
We're having
that I would put on
barbecue sauce.
the menu a lot, just to put it that way.
There was a pen of goats next to our house when I was growing up. It was so bad. The smell. And so I said, I'm never eating this. Because it just reminds me of that.
Think about pigs, they smell when they're tasty.
So it's bad.
Goes.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch.
Well, there's someone across from the trap park too.
Mhm.
There's a whole bunch of them there.
Yeah.
That's key.
That meat goes quite a market. Per pound, they're bringing more than anything.
When runs out. City of all stuff to do. Yeah. Runs column. Raises the lambs and stuff. Because we eat those cells.
It's red. Another one's pretty rich, it's bear.
It's a lot like pork I hear.
It's a little stringy. Had them at a, I say a Ducks Unlimited thing or something a long time ago. But probably.
That was the first
I don't know, I would think I'd have the courage to put there.
It's on the list.
Bear.
My bow.
Oh, yeah, good. They move pretty fast.
I just gotta be able to get it with.
Yep.
So I'm taking Clancy.
So like you'll be retired.
That's the key to bear hunting. No need to outrun the bear, just a person your way.
Sounds like I'll be watching this from the truck.
Howling last night on screaming. I went out there to watch it in the big old feral cat out there.
Oh, want to fight, huh?
Yeah.
So it's tasty and
Those cat fights are vicious. I mean, my Tom got so beat up this year and he's finally recovered.
I love it, Ken.
Those things fight are vicious. They will kill each other.
Oh, yeah. But he really had like huge. Biggest difference.
Ready, commissioners?
Mhm.
Morning, Commissioners. Clancy Holman, Riley County Counselor. And I've got a couple of items. The first one, not on the agenda, but I would ask that you add an executive session to my, not to my administrative time, but as the last item on today's agenda after the item for the public safety.
I make a motion to add an executive session to the end of the morning business meeting.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded to add an executive session to the end of our agenda this morning. All in favor? Aye.
Thank you very much. That at least gave me a little bit of delay for the next item, which I'm not excited to present. A longtime employee of the county will be leaving the counselor's office. Currently fills the role of office manager. He's done an excellent job for a number of years. Began as another position in the office, took over the office manager position and made it her own. So we're going to miss her, but we do wish her well, despite this terrible betrayal.
Yeah, she's actually retiring before you are.
and her birthday is
That's
today.
awful. She's actually beating
John, yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Think
our
about it.
deputy county counsel.
She's beating Craig.
Yeah,
You apparently saw the writing on the wall.
poor Jan. She's gonna be the only one up there now.
Yeah.
Just take over the world.
She'll be senior first in that office pretty quick.
That is very true. So, but as I said, with some regret, but also very excited for the incumbent who has submitted a resignation effective August 31st. And what we're asking for is permission to open this internally first. And have the opportunity to check internal candidates for the position before publishing it. That is pursuant to policy. I think it makes sense in this case. And as it says, this is a budgeted position. In the end, the market as all will determine what needs to be paid against them. That's why it makes sense that one of the reasons it makes sense to start internally. Glad to answer any questions. And if you'd like to withdraw your earlier approval of this person leaving, that would be fine.
I don't know if that'll work out.
She'd be disappointed, but we'd like it.
I'll bet she still can show up. But yeah, what we said.
That's probably true.
There's no picture, great picture up every night.
I'm just
Sure
yeah,
she
go
gets
by.
there.
Just bring her in there.
Yeah, I'll just. I'll go back, so-
It's a lot harder to say no if you're on her doorstep.
Yeah.
Kind of depresses morale though, if other employees see you letting an employee out of the trunk.
I know.
Exactly.
Well, that was sound quick. Real.
Yeah, that's it, just to officially say that we're not gonna do that.
No. Driving on the sidewalk, we'll allow that one, but this, no.
Go try that.
We gotta have thresholds. Yeah, yeah.
So anyway.
And definitely not in the truck while driving on a sidewalk either. Let's just verify that one too.
Would ask for a motion to approve recruiting to fill the position of office manager for internal recruitment.
Okay. I'll make a motion begrudgingly to approve recruiting, filling of the position of office manager for internal recruitment.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve recruiting to fill the position of office manager for internal recruitment. All in favor? Aye.
Three sign, please.
Thank you very much, Commissioners.
Thank you.
Oh, wait a minute. There's one thing you gotta do in advance. We gotta get the coffee recipe.
So we gotta get the new person hired, then trained for coffee, and then we should.
That'll work.
We got a month.
First training and stuff. for coffee,
Okay,
right?
I'll mark that.
All the more reason to do that internally. Yes.
Makes sense.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Thanks very much. Thanks, Liz.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That is good. That is good.
There's a policy, his main office, wants me to get considered for an office, it's still staff, lead staff, is time since retired. I'm just too old fashioned.
Yeah.
I was brought up with your guys' generation, people in a small town, I hold a lot of those values.
Yeah. What's wrong with that? I mean, those are good values, actually.
Oh, I agree. It's good. No argument here. And she said, no, it's not for at least 5 years.
Good deal. Hang in there. Okay. Next item is the project list, and it's been updated. With the items that are in bold type. I'd be glad to answer any questions that you have, and anything pending or anything.
A couple of them.
Sure.
One, I saw that appeals for liquid arts, that's still going on, that.
It is, that is actually going to be heard at the end of August in district.
Yeah. I haven't heard anything, I was hoping that was resolved, but it's still.
It'll be heard that day. It's scheduled from mid-morning until after lunch.
I'm just thinking about that one too.
And then and it's probably more Craig's, that Bala County property, that's probably under Craig, that's.
It
It's more
is.
Craig's list.
It is Craig and Shelley. And Shelley.
They get it figured out. Yeah, they're trying to get it
They're
figured out.
working on it. It is being worked on.
Let's not use Craigslist.
Good point. And
That we solve things.
Or just cause many more.
And then the last one,
Uh-huh.
for the second fence view, I think we're gonna wait to see if they can work. They seem to be
a little bit
working towards something.
Right.
On the first one, are we gonna?
First one, there'll be a car that'll be presented, and I've already had communication with the applicant and his attorney. I don't know if I told him he's going to be on a car next week or the week after.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we'll bring it back. And for your review of those things you can decide and can't decide. Yeah, probably that the idea will be during that work session, go ahead and announce your decision. And they'll be told, both parties will be told.
I got a lot more questions on that one in a second. You raised more questions than answered them to me
Sure.
anyway.
Well, the way I envision the car, quite frankly, is it is going to, what I'll be presenting, at least in my opinion, these things you can decide, these things you cannot
And
decide.
that, yeah, that's what I thought. That's clear on. Yeah.
And it's going to be probably pretty much compared to the issues that we discussed,
So,
which is pretty common. Depending on how the parties are getting along and I'm getting. Yeah. Any other questions on the project? Or matters? No. Not, that is all I have for the administrator. So if it does come up, you have a question on it, you're always welcome to give it a call. Email or swing by the office.
Thank you, Clancy.
Thank you.
Next commissioner, you have Lori Feldkamp at 9:20. Morning, David. Morning. How you doing?
Good. How's everybody doing?
Good.
Oh, I did go up and look yesterday. And the windstorm took down part of their fence across the front and laid the outhouse over on its side. Someone had challenge this one, the ambulance.
Oh,
The porta potty was used side. Yeah. I don't know who gets to clean that.
Yeah, that's one with that. There's the end of our road, Frog Holler, that turns to our place. There's been a big dead elm there. Sure enough, got there and that thing was laid completely. Good thing I had a saws on the back of my truck. And Darnell was falling on me, so. And the lightning, and it was extreme lightning that time when I was there. Got that thing out, she's dragging limbs on it. It was not a small tree. But my batteries on my saws all charged up.
Yeah. But did you get the windows are all in?
Saw that Saturday.
Yeah, and the fascia is mostly done.
I was surprised that more of the, or I couldn't tell if it took off some of the
Paper on the road.
yeah.
It looked like it all stayed. It looked like, yeah, I expected it to keep it
I
off.
did too. I was expecting it to be off into the fencing on the east side.
Yeah. You have to, Alex cleared a spot for the bad.
Trees are gone.
Yeah, trees are all gone.
it's moving along.
Yeah. Well, they got the siding.
Oh, really?
On the west side, they got. And on the gable on the front.
Right, I saw that the other day. It looks, I like that. I thought it looked
Yeah.
pretty sharp.
Yeah. That's good. That's it. Put that in my list. That LME,
Yeah.
that case, they did cover a lot of good.
That was
A lot
probably,
of stuff. It was covered.
that was probably the biggest one I've seen. Maybe make all those every month, but usually about 40 to 50 people, and there were almost 80.
There's some guy, see how many, there are a lot of people. That's all. Went over a lot of good stuff.
You did.
Oh,
Lord.
But, say it on there.
Morning.
How's it going?
Good.
Clancy, were you, did you listen in on that?
Yeah, I was about 10 minutes late because I had it in my mind that it started
Oh,
half hour later, but I think I don't think I missed anything really substantive. So it was interesting.
Because I put in, I said, why don't you need to work on the counties that the people blocking this thing, I mean, their county, we said, one of them is brother's a county commissioner.
Yeah, that was a
Yeah.
good story.
It's fighting in.
Yeah.
What's his name? Masterson.
Yeah.
His brother is county commissioner in Butler County.
He's disagreeing with his brother. In that county, he's put his prayers right, well, his brother, and he's not listening.
Apparently fairly robust disagreement.
Yeah.
It's what?
Apparently a fairly robust disagreement between the brothers. From time to time, at least.
Well, the law is on the county commissioner's side, so sorry about that. That's all we ask, because like you expect us to follow the law. You know, that's my whole biggest beef with it. Let's not follow some laws, and then we have more money for tax dollars to do things that we want to do here, things that we don't do. I mean, we don't have that option, so what should I say?
I'm going to send out rules requiring us to do things. It costs us money, well, we're just not going to do that.
Exactly.
See how that's what they're doing.
That's what they do.
Well, actually, it helped the argument or two things this year. This next session is the one, they're all up for reelection. So there are ways they can do things that will show they are solving some issues regarding the complaints about property taxes. And two, they've got a gigantic surplus.
Yeah.
But I'm sure there's lots of ideas on how to spend it. You'll need to come up with something both sides can see the value of it.
Which they'd start doing that rather than trying to prove how they think they can start little beginnings of government.
That is true. See, I can agree with you, even though you're going to sacrifice me to a bear.
No, he's not really sacrificing you a bear. He's just sacrificing you to your lack of running skills.
Serpentine. Where would you like to hunt the bear?
There's a good population in Colorado actually, and they don't allow the baiting. They do the baiting whenever you're just sitting over there. I won't do it on the ground, so I've got a couple of connections up there that got some access to some areas. Populations seem to be doing good in Colorado, it's a bear population.
A few years ago, they were saying it was a population of black bear was growing in the East Coast, which seems odd.
My friend who goes up to Maine every few years for black bear.
In the woods and there.
I would too. It is something. Which is.
Yes, yes. Okay, all right, Victor, awesome. Well, good morning.
Good morning.
It's actually kind of nice outside.
Is it?
Yeah, doesn't feel quite as humid.
Mhm.
Anyway, I'll take it after last week. That was kind of crazy. Well, not a lot to update you on this time around. I do have some updates on a couple of different projects. I believe I told you when I came in to do the budget presentation that we were reopening admissions for the first time in 6 years at Big Lake. We are looking, we're not expanding services, we're looking to backfill some of the losses we've had since 2017, which is when we shut down admissions. And we did that because of the severity of our workforce shortage. We are still short-staffed, there's no doubt, but it's not as bad as it was. We're averaging about 27 openings right now. During COVID, we were over 50. So, you know, it's only your perspective, I guess, but we really do need to backfill some of the openings that we have that occurred because of relocation. We've had a number of deaths, things like that. So we have openings at some of our group homes that need to be filled and so forth. So we are in the process, or we have already admitted 12 new clients into services for day and employment services, 6 into residential services, and 11 into our case management services. So excited to see some new faces. It's been a while, and younger faces. That's also been pretty awesome to see as well. Once we have 5 individuals that we're still waiting to hear from them. We've offered services. They have 60 days to take them or say no. And once their decision is made, then we will shut down admissions again because we just can't expand services. It's impossible to do that when you have 26 workforce shortages. So, but that is some progress, and I'm really happy that we're able to start doing that. Now, as far as the statewide waiting list for funding, as of July 15th, statewide we went over 5,100 are waiting for services under the Medicaid home and community-based service waiver. 129 are waiting for Riley, Gary, Potawatomi, and Clay counties, the catchment area that we are in. And the average wait time now is 10 years, 3 months. So I think I did share with you when I was again here for budget that the legislature is actually taking some initiative to try and do something about the waiting list. During the interim, we've got some committees that are meeting. They instructed as part of the budget, it was a budget proviso, they instructed KDADs to work on the development of a new Medicaid waiver that isn't as comprehensive as the waiver that we provide services for day and residential services, as a way to get some services to individuals that are on the waiting list that may not require the full wraparound services. I'm very excited about that. I think that we have a really good shot of seeing the waiting list go down rather than the steady up that's been, because you know as well as I do, every day there are babies that are born with developmental disabilities. And so we continue to add. And as we continue to add, we're not taking anyone off. That just, again, causes the waiting list just to explode. So I'm hopeful. They have also set aside some money for that new waiver once it's written. I don't anticipate a lot of work on that until 2024. But I am hopeful that we'll see some progress on the waiting list. Our Raising Roof Capital campaign, we are almost done with phase 1. The roof has been replaced right now. They're working on the gutters and sealing it up, and we're going to do water tests this week. So if you see water flying off the top of our building, that's why. They're testing to make sure that we don't have any leaks, which I'm very excited about. I do have a surplus of buckets, so if anybody is in buckets, I think I told you the building was the roof is 43 years old. And we have about 43 leaks, so very excited to not have leaks anymore. And I'm excited to share. You know, we have had thunderstorms
move up over the last month or so, and everywhere where we've replaced the roof, we've not had a leak. So very excited to get to a point where we don't have to worry about buckets and emptying them and the mess that causes everything. And again, that's phase one. In our fundraising, under that, our budget for the roof replacement under phase one was $625,000. We have raised $636,000, so we have that paid for. We're now on phase two, which is our solar panels that we're going to install on top of that brand new roof to replace power. On average, 68% of our power needs for the year. There's the summer months like now, it can be up to 98%. So very excited to get that started. We're looking at the end of this year is when we're looking to start phase two. And I'm very excited to share with you, I had requested that you all sign a letter of support for us to get tax credits through the Kansas Department of Commerce. We qualified. We were notified at the beginning of July that we got $115,000 in tax credits to sell to donors. So if they make a contribution of $1,000, they get 50% of that back when they file the tax return. So it's a way of incentivizing donations and maybe increasing the amount of donations that someone would normally give. The minimum gift is $250. So, anybody can really take advantage of that. So very excited to get that program started. And we have until December of 2024 to sell those tax credits, although I anticipate we will get rid of them pretty fast. So our 50th anniversary celebrations, in May, we had our cake decorating contest, which was a lot of fun. Adibus won. They were our number one cake, although we had Kansas State Bank came in second and Wright County Police Department came in third. So, but they all came out, all the top three winners came out. We had cupcakes and they all toured and was able to see all the clients, and it was a lot of fun that day. We had our Summer 73 party in June, which was a blast. It was on Friday, June 16th, I believe. And we had carnival games, face painting. We had Dave Lewis did a 70s dance party for us. Friendship House had any kind of summer food you'd want to get, as far as hamburgers, hot dogs, corn dogs, beer rocks. We had it all. We had shaved ice and cotton candy, and it was a lot of fun. We invited not only our staff and clients, but all of their families to come out and take advantage of that. And I think at one point in time we had over 300 people there. So it was a lot of fun. But it's, again, 50th anniversary, you don't have that happen too often. So it was nice that we were able to invite so many people to come out. And let's see, July, of course, we participated in community celebrations around the 4 counties for 4th of July. In August, we have my birthday celebration where Big Lakes turned 50, I'm turning 60. So I'm buying breakfast for everybody in August. And then September, we always celebrate a week-long celebration for our direct support staff. It is a nationally recognized DSP Appreciation Week. We always participate in it every year. Our foundation is the one that supports that effort, and we'll have lots of giveaways and a lot of fun activities. So really looking forward to that. If you're on Facebook, I would definitely take a look at our pages, because that's where you see where all that activity is going on, and the pictures are great. So other than that, that's all I got for today, unless you have any questions.
How's construction holding up over there for you
Instruction.
on Hayes and sidewalks? Yeah.
The sidewalk, we were notified by the city that they did want to put a sidewalk in front of our building. And the last meeting I had was with them in April. I gave them a proposal that we had as far as how to redo our sign and everything that's in front. I haven't heard from them since. So I'm assuming it's still on their radar, but I have not heard anything. I am looking forward to getting a sidewalk on Hayes. I think it's really needed. There's a lot of foot traffic that happens on that street, and it's 40 miles an hour on that street, and it's not very safe. So hopefully we will be hearing something soon. Okay. Other than that, 50th anniversary, I have presents.
Thank you.
Everybody needs a new bug, right?
Yeah.
You bet. thank you for your support over all these years. Really appreciate it.
Thanks for all you do.
And those are really good mugs, by the way. They hold up very well.
Yeah, thanks very much.
You bet. Anything else I can share with you today?
Ah,
All right. I'll see you soon.
all right.
And good luck on budget.
The nice look.
Iced coffee.
Yeah.
You don't like iced coffee?
No.
Actually made some the other day. My coffee maker started going off at midnight the other night. And since I always get it ready for the next morning and then turn it on.
Oh,
Well,
gotcha.
I turned it on. at midnight. So I had all this with coffee in the morning. I made iced coffee.
No, can't do that.
It's weird.
Can't microwave coffee. No.
I'm with you. I cannot microwave coffee. No.
I had a whole pot. Old coffee.
I'll just toss that one out.
I think the one that happens, and why it tastes like that is because you're recooking, the bits of grain, so it's the more you roast it, the more you I used to be a barista.
Yeah. We had some coffee protein powder stuff that you can make like barista stuff with. I'm not, as you can tell. And well, you have to almost do that cold to make it work, and it doesn't taste right if it's hot. And I'm like, yeah, I don't want that either. So we're not a coffee season for me yet. Anyway, I wait till it gets cold, or usually October to March-ish, somewhere in there.
It would kind of offset the sugar.
Really like.
We had milk yesterday too, and yeah, cookies aren't gonna sound good for a while. They're just not.
You didn't like that?
I did yesterday,
Oh, yesterday.
not for a while after.
My brother just did the same. He started drinking coffee because she's like, said his wife convinced him that you one of those flavored ones that had enough stuff on it, you don't taste the coffee, and it's bad, not bad.
My daughter is like that. She never would drink coffee, and now she drinks iced coffee.
No.
All this vanilla in it, all sorts of stuff. Every time I go there, I got coffee for me.
Well, I think so. Makeup for me.
Nation.
She's a good coffee.
I can't do it when it's hot out like this.
My dad even in the summer, he's had a big thermos full of hot coffee.
I've been working outside. I know people that do it, and it'll be 100 degrees at noon, and they've got their thermos of coffee. I can't do that.
Well, we got one more item. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not that job.
Just tell them to sign it, we'll be good.
Need to go, John, use me 15 minutes.
Okay, it's 9:30.
Good morning, Commissioner John Ellerman, Public Works. And I am here with you to present a contract for BHS to do the construction manager at risk services for the EMS headquarters station, whatever we're calling it today.
EMS headquarters.
Or Emperor David's. Is that
Oh,
what that is?
They would put that on the building though, I've asked them.
We want the building to look nice, David.
This contract's been a long time coming. Some delays in contract costs are changes in some wording that we've had. They originally started off with wanting to change the termination for convenience statements. Just was having this come out presented to them was right after they got shut down with the Aggie project and had some concerns about how the time and effort and money they put into behind the scenes there and then being shut down and not being reimbursed for that effort. So we took care of some of that language in the contract as well as in our contract provisions that we present to them. And there's some other things delayed with the architect being the only person to have ability to make changes to the contract. It's a licensed AIA contract stuff that they were the only ones with the ability to make adjustments to the contract. So tell them what we want to change, making sure we come back with review and it was right and back and forth. So we have one in front of you now. That spells out their fees and costs throughout the project. 15,000 per pre-construction fees is what we've been working on now. They've done a really good job of keeping us informed of where we think we're at on the project costs. As we make changes or discuss changes, they're pretty quick at being able to just tell us what that effect does to the project. So they've done a lot of work in here so far and not had something to work off of. Construction manager fee is 2.5% of the guaranteed maximum price. That guaranteed maximum price is a project construction cost that we don't have yet, and we won't be able to get that until the plans are done and ready to quote bid. Basically, the GMP is a bid price. And there will be an amendment to this contract when that comes about. Their general conditions, there's a long list of things in here, what those are, salaries and equipment and vehicles used throughout the project for their BHS's employees. There's a red sheet in your packet that is on the back of the contract that look like that. And those general conditions charges are shown on there. And that's at set price at $459.25. So the project cost of funds of that come from the ARPA funding that we received. I don't know what else to say or what other questions you might have about the contract. I can try to answer it the best I can.
Does this include both buildings?
I think it does, yeah, but it doesn't.
I'm not
100%
sure on that.
We need to
Definitely
check.
need to get that.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't see, I didn't read all.
I think that's what the plan was, that the architect went into the others, and so I think they were working on estimate.
I didn't work on that, so that's why I just wanted to clarify. I didn't see that it
Go back to
specify that it's the road. But the other thing, because the numbers match, what they, throughout their proposal and match those numbers. Except that was just pre-construction. Now they're gonna get more for pre-construction after August.
They could, and maybe because we did change a lot of things, that the design changed. We're gonna go past August to get all this done, and hopefully we're not too many times where we have to meet anymore with them.
Okay, that's why I didn't know how much. And when does the pre-construction fee stop and the construction fee start? Is it when it's ready for bid? Or where's that?
Yeah, I think that's where that's it, is as we
When GMP is made?
figure out where we're at, set every building items are all set. Architect finishes their things up and then ready to bid is when the GMP would start.
When, like I say, yeah, when they complete that GMP, that one switches over to construction to pre-construction. That again, I was trying to read through all that and I couldn't find exactly that. It's probably in there, but I didn't find it.
Really, I think they put in more than 15,000.
Oh, they put in a lot of time, so
Yeah. Than what they've done, so that's, I mean, that was the cheap part of it. I think they're making up any. In the rest of it is what
Yeah.
I.
because they're still, and I don't have to pull out that schedule of when they're expecting that GMP, the plans are done.
Yeah, I believe 65% of the map should be done from the architects in August. And then they'll start there. I want to say it was November was when they were thinking that it would start. They start the pre-bid and the bids.
So they are from September, October. Their work will be charged.
They with the contract, they'll be charging us, yes. Whether they do or not, it's another story, but that's what they could be.
You can get all those questions answered for the boards.
Yeah.
Okay, let's make sure both buildings covered.
So we need to table this until questions are answered.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think so too.
Make sure everything included.
Go ahead and make a motion that we move to table the agreement for construction manager services with BHS Construction until a list of questions have been answered.
Well, second.
Moved and seconded that we table the construction contract until some questions brought up or answered. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Good. Thank you, John. Thank you, David. Next, commissioners, I believe, get that executive session. What time am I in, Nancy?
Let's just need 15 minutes, so 9:58, or we can go to 10. Let's go to 10.
Moves that the county commission, including Chairwoman BOCC, Vice Chairman Ford, and Commissioner McKinley recess into executive session on potential litigation for the purpose of consultation with Nancy Holman, County Counselor, attorney for the commission, which would be deemed privileged in the attorney-client relationship, an exception to the Kansas Open Meetings Act, with the county commission meeting resuming in the chamber at 10 a.m.
I'll second.
So moved and seconded to adjourn to recess into executive session until 10 o'clock. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Right, you guys are back.
Okay. Now go ahead and move it to Board of County Commissioners come out of executive session.
I'll second.
It's moved and seconded that the board come out of executive session. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I'll also move that the record reflect action shall be taken consistent with the consensus reached in executive session.
I'll second.
So moved and seconded that actions will be taken according to this consensus reached in executive session. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much.
Mhm.
I have nothing else.
Okay. I'll give that back to you. I don't have anything else this morning.
You good?
I guess with that said, then I'll go ahead and make a motion that we adjourn the July 31st meeting of the Riley County Commission.
I'll second.
So moved and seconded that we adjourn the Board of County Commissioners for the July 31st meeting. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Have a good week, Commissioners.